In the build-up to the Lions, the internet was awash with selection ideas and speculation about who might be selected. It has now been some time since the Lions squad was announced, and the internet has continued to argue about who was selected and who wasn't, and why they should have been. There have been tears and tantrums for both players and fans alike. The big question on everyone's lips: why this 37? The first thing to point out is it's no good just gathering the best players in the world and hoping that some form of game plan will appear from the skills available. Great examples of these failures are the Belgium national football team, the Harlem Globetrotters, and the Monstars in Space Jam. The first job in the selection process is to decide how this Lions team will try and beat the reigning world champions and massive beastmen South Africa. In this video, we'll look at the forwards that were selected and try and uncover why they were selected and potentially what are the Lions planning. So what's the challenge? Playing South Africa is like running into 15 brick walls, all voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. They are tough and rugged and love nothing more than bullying teams into submission with brute force and shithousery. Running hard and trust the process posters just aren't going to be enough to beat the Springboks. Warren and the 4 Baldy Horsemen are going to need a cunning plan. What's really noticeable about these selections is the emphasis has been placed on 2 key areas that sets the tone for the rest of the team. Now, before you throw your phone out the window, grab your laptop and slam me in the comments. For every rule, there is an exception. Whilst you're down there, though, feel free to smash like and subscribe. Right, these 2 key battlegrounds for this team will be the running game and discipline. Over recent years, the role of the front row has somewhat evolved from the fat lads in the team left to charge into each other like oversized mountain goats in the hope the ball squirts out the back of the scrum, to a round, short, line-running first receiver that can equally distribute as well as crash whilst working in defence to get more and more breakdowns complete. Luke Cowan-Dicky, Jamie George, Ken Owen, Xander Fagerson, Tag Furlong, Wyn Jones, Rory Sutherland and Mako Vunipola all have terrific running games as well as being good scrummagers. The rule exception here is Andrew Porter. Whilst he is arguably a better scrummager than runner, he does offer cover at both loose head and tight head. Given the current situation with COVID-19, the team will be locked down in their bubble for 2 months. There may come a scenario when an injury replacement is required and it becomes too difficult to add somebody new to the bubble's safety protocols. Stand up, Andrew Porter. There were strong calls from some fans for Kyle Sinclair and Joe Marler to be included, and the real noticeable difference with both of these players is they're absolute bastards. Both love nothing more than getting under the skin of their opposite number. And whilst in normal circumstances, this would be absolutely fine. But there is an element of risk when blurring the lines of getting under the skin of the opposition and giving away a needless penalty. In the second row, we find the tall captain, Alan Wyn Jones. I haven't heard a single person disagree with this decision. A man with the most international caps, a 6 Nations winning captain, and a Lions career spanning 3 decades. But don't be fooled, this doesn't make him the right man for the job. He can teleport. That makes him the right man for the job. As for the rest of the second rows, Warren has focused on the line-out. In the 2019 Rugby World Cup, South Africa lost just 1 single line-out in the entire tournament. This is a huge area of concern for the Lions, as most teams score 60+% of their tries from a line-out set piece. These salmon jumping specialists have been selected for their aerial prowess. The real surprise in the second row was Courtney Laws, who seemed pretty surprised himself to be selected when Chris Boyd announced it at the end of their training session at Northampton Saints. But when you can do this to people, you become pretty hard to ignore. Equally, he does offer some cover in the back row, having played blindside flanker for England on a number of occasions. Gray, Ryan and Launchbury could all feel hard done by for missing out, but I don't think anyone is overly worried about their line-out stats. So it makes sense if you're looking to disrupt what is a huge component of the Springboks game. More surprises in the back row until you look at why they're there. Man of the Six Nations Hamish Watson, Tom Curry and Faletau are all huge stars for their country, and they were all expected to make the plane. For their huge work rates and ability to get round the park, jackal hard and cover ground. The real surprises were Jack Conan and Sam Simmons. This really highlights the intention of the Lions game plan. These two have wheels for days. I mean, Simmons is quicker than most backs. The exclusion of Billy Vunipola, CJ Stander and Josh Nafidi make a real statement that the Lions want dynamic runners. I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Underhill is on the back row injury reserve list as someone who is a hardline runner but also has a lick of pace. Based on these selections, I'm pretty confident the Lions are going to play a fairly simple forwards game. Don't be surprised to find one or two of these rangy forwards out on the wing looking to exploit the space in the wide channel and knock over a pint-sized winger or two. The forwards will look to set up their attacks just outside the 10 channel, asking the Bok defenders to work hard on the outside with option runners inside and 10 sweeping out the back door. Farrell at 12 will provide another distributing option to get quick ball wide. But we can save that for the backs video.
Right, it's time to get off the loo and get back to work. You're about to get pins and needles. Don't forget, before you go, smash subscribe and hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Wait a minute, why are you still here? Haven't you got anything better to do? Come on, move on, click one of these videos. Okay, I'm sick of you. I'm going now.